Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 challenge run. Hope you're all doing well. Today, we're doing another no-item challenge, because I've really been enjoying these, and we're going to try the Lich. This is a character I haven't seen mentioned anyone else having completed with a no-item challenge, but I think it should actually be one of the more straightforward possible characters to play without buying any items, only weapons, throughout the entire run. There's a couple options here, because the Lich is going to do most of its damage with its passive, so we could play it with different types of weapons. Submachine gun gives you a lot of lifesteal, so it'll trigger the passive really frequently. Sticks have really good base damage. Spiky shields or rocks give you a lot of defensive stats. And I think for my first attempt, I'm going to go with rocks here. These just give us so much HP and so many defensive stats that I think they're going to make it a lot easier to trigger our passive and hopefully get a win with this character. I should be trying to kill enemies close to the center here. Picking up materials is kind of a challenge for the Lich, because obviously your passive kills enemies all over the place. Normally we would take the whistle there, but this is a no-item challenge, so we have to recycle it. And then we're going to pick up 5 harvesting. I'm going to start with 5 harvesting, but probably not take any more harvesting after that, but this is so efficient, and I think it does give us usually 1 extra level over the course of the run, that starting with 5 is worthwhile. After that, I need to focus on defensive stats. Really lucky to reroll. Rock is a weapon that you're not that likely to see in each reroll, because it's a primitive and blunt weapon, so it has multiple weapon tags, and primitive is the biggest weapon tag in the game. So the fact that we found 3 really quickly is really nice, actually, and then we were able to lock another one. Our plan here is we're not going to build damage. We're just going to rely on the Lich passive to kill things for us, and we'll just build defensive stats, and we'll try to build enough healing and armor and everything that we can tank through the elites and not really have to worry about what they're doing. I'm not going to necessarily buy only rocks. If we do get other weapons that are good, then I might pick some of those up, but I think these are going to be the weapon that makes the most sense. I am just going to take 2 regeneration here. Luck is also a healing stat for this character, but I really want to get up to like 20 or 30 regeneration as quickly as possible. That not only will help us stay alive, but as the Lich, we deal damage every time we heal, so every tick of healing deals damage to a random enemy. That means that having more regeneration also is going to clear the wave faster. We'll re-roll down to 0 money, basically every shop, looking for additional rocks. We want to level these as quickly as possible, because when you get to level 4, they give you 2 armor each, so 12 bonus armor, which is massive, of course. Oops, I should not have stepped on those spawn. I moved those enemies, because when you step on a spawn, the enemy will just randomly spawn somewhere else on the map. But I wanted them close to me so we could kill them and take their money. What happened with that? Did you see that? One of those materials just zipped over to me from off screen. I don't know what happened there. Obviously, we don't have a baby gecko or anything, but I just got a material sucked to my character from all the way off screen. I'll take 10 luck, and then that will get us more consumable healing, which is awesome. And then we'll do a reroll here. Dodge is actually something we could build on this character. Although you might think you don't want to build dodge on the Lich because you want to intentionally lower your health, you can still do that by running into groups of enemies. The way the invulnerability frames work, you get fewer invulnerability frames, so less time that you spend invincible after dodging an attack than if you actually get hit by it. So if you run into the middle of a group of enemies, you'll dodge the first attack, but almost always get hit by the second or third, and you can still lower your HP when you want to on purpose. However, because we're building a lot of armor, regen, and max HP, dodge is efficient for defense. I think here I'm still going to pass on it, but it is a consideration once we get a few more of our more core stats online. If we get a few good dodge level ups, that's the direction we could go. Definitely happy to take 3 regeneration there. Like I said, my main goal is to get my regen really high as quickly as possible. That'll just make it harder for us to die, and then we'll level up some rocks. Well, level 2 rock is nice. So you can see here we're on wave 3. We've spent money only on weapons, but we already have 6 armor. We've got 35 max HP, so things are looking pretty good. I definitely want to build more movement speed as a... With the blunt weapon tag, you lose 10 move speed, so we need to fix that. Helps us stay alive, but also helps us clear the wave, because we want to be fast enough to run into enemies on purpose as well. I am still going to kill the curse aliens. If we get a cursed rock, that's a lot of defensive stats. And there's some other cursed items, cursed weapons that would be really nice to find for this character. If we get a cursed, like, Vorpal Sword or Chain Gun or something, then we can potentially kill the bosses. Here I'm going to take 2 armor. The 6 movement speed is also tempting, but armor's so important for this character, so we're going to grab it basically every time we see it. We'll reroll and reroll, and here's another rock. With rocks, you typically want to level them to level 4 as quickly as possible. So you want to get all your rocks to level 2 to get the 6 points of armor. Then you want to start leveling them to level 4. Because when you go to level 3, you just get some max HP, less valuable. When you go to level 4, you get additional armor, so it's much more valuable. Most weapons you want to evenly level, but rocks we're going to get our individual weapons to level 4 as quickly as possible. After hitting level 2. Rock, I think, is a really good weapon for these no-item challenges. It has super high base damage. You can see that it's one-shotting most things that we attack, even though we've built no damage and probably never will, because the Lich buys damage at half rate. Also, I'm walking into attacks, obviously, to trigger my Lich passive on purpose. But the base stats that you get from Rock, just the amount of damage it does, the fact that it gives you a ton of defensive stats for free, make it kind of the ideal weapon to try these more challenging runs with. We'll take 9 max HP here, and then I could buy attack speed. The base damage of our weapons is still high, so attack speed is still pretty good. It also does mean we trigger lifesteal more often, which obviously with a really slow attacking melee weapon like this, lifesteal is not going to be a primary plan, but it's not totally worthless either. I think I will take 10 attack speed there, and then we'll do a reroll and a reroll by another rock. So we'll go ahead and combine and buy, and we'll keep looking for more rocks to level up. And here we go. So we've got our level 1. So here, normally with most weapons, you would combine and get 3 level 3s. But with Rock, we want to increase our armor, so we're combining to a level 4. Now, obviously, we still lose 1 armor there because we bought a level 1 Rock. But as soon as we upgrade that, we'll have increased our armor relative to what we would have if we were leveling them evenly. Lowering my HP on purpose there, because it means we're triggering our passive more frequently. With 15 regeneration, we're in pretty good shape, but I definitely want more regen. I also have got to find some movement speed, so I will probably, at this, unless we find speed in the next couple levels, I'm going to end up spending my level 10 level up, where we're guaranteed to see a level 3 level up screen on +9 movement speed. Here, of course, we're recycling, and then let's reroll. I'll take 15 more attack speed, and then I think I'm probably done buying attack speed, but a little bit of extra damage and lifesteal from a few points in attack speed is still pretty useful. Keep on leveling our armor. We're up to 12 armor here, which is great. And then, obviously, it doesn't matter if I spend a bunch of money rolling for weapons here, because that's all we have to spend our money on. I will stop as soon as I find that level 3, though. I could keep rolling and maybe try to find a level 1 or 2, but saving some money to reroll our level up screen and roll for more rocks, obviously, is going to be good. Doing a lot of rock and roll here. Taking hits from the walrus there, it's an easy way to lower my HP. 51 health is not terrible for killing enemies with our Lich passive. 51 damage at a time obviously is still fairly slow, but at this level is still killing a lot of enemies in 1 or 2 hits. Let's go ahead and recycle, and then here I'm going to take 3 more regeneration. So we will use a +9 movement speed, because I do have to fix my move speed, but the regen is too good to pass on. So we'll go ahead and combine. We'll take a rock and another one, get another level 4, and then we'll do some more re-rolling. And some more re-rolling. And a few more re-rolls here. So we missed a bunch, but okay, here's a level 2 rock, so that's not bad at all. We're on wave 8, and I need to be strong enough to survive an elite wave on wave 11, because we have an elite. I think the fact that we have 3 elites is a little easier than if we had horde waves, because if we had a late horde wave, we probably wouldn't have the damage to clear it before we took lots of hits. With an elite, we can just run away from it and use our high defensive stats to hopefully stay alive. As long as I have the move speed to stay ahead of it, which is why buying move speed is going to be a priority here. One thing I really like about this run is how much it demonstrates how much of, like, what a high proportion of your damage, the base damage of your weapons is for most of the game. Wave 8, we're still just one-shotting everything with rocks, even though we haven't bought a single point of damage this entire game. And that really demonstrates why it's so important to choose a good weapon for your character. That's, like, most of the battle when you're playing this game. I could take 4 regen here, but we already talked about how we really want move speed. So I am going to roll and roll and roll. Okay, here we go. 9 move speed. Had to roll a bunch to get it, but I need to find at least 1 more move speed upgrade. So we'll take a 6 if I get it, a 9 if I am lucky enough to find one. Either of those we'll take when they show up. We're going to do some more re-rolling here, keep buying rocks, and keep buying rocks, and again, combine to level 4, buy another level 2, and we gain armor from that transaction. I do still need another level 1 rock, because we have this level 1 that's holding us back. It's not giving me any armor, and the damage is low. I do like the idea of leveling up rocks. Something that you know, just found on the ground. Though I will say, as a former child myself, there is a very good there's a big difference between a good rock and a bad rock. Gonna recycle these items. Okay, so 15 attack speed. I think I don't want the attack speed at this point. I could take 2 regen, but I feel like I can get at least a level 2 upgrade. This is an interesting spot. Do I want 15 luck or 2 armor? Luck is still a good defensive stat for us, because more luck means more consumables will drop. And it, of course, upgrades the quality of our level ups and makes it more likely that we find high-level weapons. Not that that matters a ton, because we'll get our rocks upgraded without too much difficulty. I think I will take the luck here, though, and then really nice, immediately rewarded for that by getting this 9 speed upgrade. By that rock, a cursed weapon or a cursed item. That would be so good for us, the cursed coffee, but we're not allowed to buy it. Let's keep re-rolling, and we'll pick up another rock here. Roll again, and roll again, and roll again. We'll take a level 2, and we'll keep re-rolling, and we'll buy a level 1, and we'll roll again. Oh, nice. The freedom when you finally get some move speed upgrades after having had negative move speed feels so good to be able to actually move around the map. So we've got 62 HP. I'm still under 20 regeneration, so I'd really like to find a regen upgrade before we fight this elite. Because 20 regen is not enough for me to feel safe if we take hits from it. There's some difficult elites that would be hard to fight. Honestly, we might have the damage to kill it, but I don't think it's worth it. We would only just get a red item anyways, which we would just have to recycle. There are some ways that I would maybe try to kill elites if we got a really powerful cursed weapon, if we got a cursed legendary, or if we got a cursed Vorpal sword would be another way that we could potentially try to kill elites, because that would have a high chance of one-shotting enemies. We've got the defensive stats to stay near them. Do I want 15 attack speed? Do I want 10 luck? I think I will take one more attack speed upgrade. And then we'll do some re-rolling, and I really want to level my weapons here to maximize my armor. So we again gain an extra armor by doing that, and we'll keep rolling and level up again. And can we get a purple rock here? Ideally a cursed one. We've got 5 curse. All right, we didn't manage to, but we're in really good shape in terms of our weapon set. We have 16 armor, and that'll go up again when we get a red rock as our last weapon. This elite is definitely one of the harder ones we could face because it does charge at you, so it's hard to stay out ahead of it. This is why we wanted to buy all this movement speed. But 18 regeneration and the armor that we have, I think, should be enough to keep. And the lifesteal does contribute a little bit as well. But I think should be enough to keep us pretty safe against this elite. One thing I will need to pay attention to, just like in my previous run where I kind of messed this up and had to rely on dodge to stay alive with the Vagabond run, is I will really need to kill Stargazers and Towers because we do not have the damage to keep those clear. And because our damage is dealt randomly around the map, if we let too many high health enemies just stay on the field, we're not going to kill anything, so we're not going to make any money. You can see that happening with this elite where a bunch of our Lich passive triggers are going on the elite. So instead of the normal like 350 or 400 materials that you make on wave 11, we only made 300. Here I'm going to take 2 armor. I really want more regen, but that was not a guaranteed, even though it was all level 2 level ups. That wasn't guaranteed. We could have rolled into level 1s, and armor is still really good. Let's do some re-rolling here. We're looking for more rocks. And okay, so I could consider buying this Vorpal sword. I don't think it's worth it unless it's cursed, because it costs me so much in the way of defensive stats to add in the 2% chance of one-shotting enemies. The damage is lower than the rock, even it attacks a little faster, but the damage is quite a bit lower. We lose 1 armor and 2 HP for selling the rock, but we also lose an armor and 3 HP for losing the primitive and blunt weapon tags. So I think we're going to pass on that. I will do a couple more rerolls here, because getting that to level 4 is a very high priority. At this point, though, our weapon set is pretty online, so I can save my money to reroll for better level up screens. I don't think I'm going to worry about building dodge. Maybe if I got like a plus 12 dodge randomly, then I would consider it, but I think this character is not going to get enough levels between now and the end of the run to make building to a reasonable amount of dodge viable. For dodge to be an efficient defensive stat, you need to get it to at least 30 usually, and the higher the better, because each point makes each future point more valuable. Which would mean I'd have to level it probably at least 4 times if I found plus 9 dodge level ups regularly. That just doesn't seem realistic to me, and will cost me a lot of regeneration and other stats that we could get instead. So I think we will ignore dodge. We'll focus on armor and regen. Here I'm going to take 4 regen over 3 armor. I really need to boost my regeneration, and then we'll do some more re-rolling, looking for a level 3 or 4 rock. Level 2 rock doesn't cut it. Level 1 rock doesn't cut it. Come on, game. Alright, I'm not gonna re-roll for 53, but could be worse, I suppose. Oh, I should be taking hits, so my passive is going off. One good thing is, even if I have a wave where we don't make that much money, this character doesn't need money. All we need is to upgrade our last weapon, and the rest of our money is just for re-rolling our level ups. we obviously need the XP from making income each wave, but the difference between a good farming wave and a bad farming wave for this character is probably not that significant. The amount of experience that we're going to gain at the end of these runs with no economy boosts of any kind is not going to be that high. So we probably will never hit level 25 no matter what we do on this character. And that's where you would get like a really big stat upgrade. But if we do hit one extra level, that's not terrible. We'll recycle and recycle here, and then move speed I don't really need. These other two stats don't do much for us. Melee damage you buy at half rate on the Lich, and it's just not that important. So here we do have a 9 dodge level up. So I did talk about how we probably weren't going to build dodge. If I got several of these, it could be pretty good. But I think it's safer just to take 3 regen. Oh, nice. Okay, so we got our last rock here. I'll do a couple cheap rerolls, but I'm actually going to save my money because now that we've got all of this money, we're just looking for cursed weapons, basically. So I will save my money to try to get a level 3 or 4 level up. I was testing my damage there because Rock has such high base damage. I thought there was a chance we could maybe fight the Elite, but I don't think it's worth it. And again, all we get out of it is just a red item that we have to recycle. So if we manage to kill the Elite, it's worth, 50 materials or something. But the materials that you get from recycling don't even give you XP. So it's just not that valuable to try to kill it. All these buffed walruses are coming out to play. Oops. Okay, took a lot of hits there, so I'm going to back off a little bit, wait for the Elite to fire its attacks, and then we'll move over to the other side of the map. Make my way through the center, kill that tree for an extra heal, and then I'm going to run into this big group of enemies and try to kill a few things before the end of the wave. We have the defensive stats to survive that, and I do still want to make money. Here I will take 9 max HP, 3 regen or 2 armor are also really good, and we do have the perfect amount of max health, but I could definitely use a little more. It also increases our Lich damage, and then we'll do a couple rerolls here. Just looking for cursed weapons at this point. There's not really anything else that we could buy. Rock being such a cheap weapon is also really nice because it did get us to maxed out weapons much earlier. In my other no item challenge runs, we haven't maxed out our full weapon set even by the end of the run, even though we were buying no items at all. But with Rock, it's very easy to do that. Trying to kill the blobfish with melee attacks to minimize the number of lampreys that spawn. Same with the pufferfish. If you kill an enemy with the Lich passive, it does count as killing it with a ranged attack. So you'll get the pufferfish explosions, you'll get the extra lamprey spawns. That can be pretty dangerous. That is how you will often tend to lose in Abyssal Terrors. Adrenaline, of course, we have to recycle, and then let's do a reroll and a couple more. So I didn't get any levels that wave, unfortunately. Come on, give me a cursed weapon here. We have 12 cursed, so the chances of rolling into something cursed aren't that bad. But we'll save our money and we'll try to reroll our stats here. Alright, so I definitely need to clear the Stargazers. I don't care if we get them buffed. So I don't care if I kill the towers or the Stargazers particularly. I just need to make absolutely certain that not too many mini-bosses hatch, because that's where we get in a lot of trouble. Wave 16 especially is dangerous for that since... Oh, did you see how far that one got pushed? The walrus, charged through it and shoved the Stargazer, the cursed Stargazer, towards the tower. I feel like the odds of enemies getting cursed, the Stargazers seem to have the highest odds of being cursed. Alright, so I got one mini-boss spawn, and there's probably going to be at least one more that I didn't see. Yeah, here's another one. I'm going to try to kill some curse aliens. We should have enough defensive stats to survive easily here. Lifesteal still not a primary way that we're going to heal on this character, so I think I'll roll past it even at level 3. I'm going to try for a level 3 upgrade, so I'll roll past that regen, and we did get a level 3 upgrade, so that's really nice. Nuke Launcher is an interesting option for a weapon. I could add in a little more damage. I think I'll still pass on that, though. If it was cursed, I might consider it more strongly. And then, again, we'll just roll for some cursed weapons, potentially. Go to the next wave here. I don't know why I'm running at these elites, just out of habit, I guess. Just to test my damage, but I know that my damage is significantly worse than it was a couple waves ago, relative to the wave, obviously. Like, we've increased it, but I haven't bought any damage items, and the wave numbers have kept going up. So there's no chance that when I wasn't able to fight the wave 11 elite and have the same damage that I did at wave 11, that we're going to fight the wave 17 elite. Too many cursed enemies on the field at this point. I was going after that loot alien a little too strongly. And this elite is pretty dangerous to fight. I really should have picked up that consumable. Those 3 hit points would have been good. I also tried to dodge that attack and just ran back into it. So some poor movement here is making things a little harder for me, but we did survive. Let's go ahead and recycle, and then we'll reroll a couple more times. I didn't get a level that wave as well. I don't even know if I'm going to hit level 20 before the end of the run. That would be bad. I definitely need the extra stats from level 20. Okay, I think we should. We should get like a level and a bit this, or almost half a level this wave, and then wave 19 we should get a level as well, hopefully. But starting to get a little worried here. Made that guy mad. Gonna let that guy get to his house and then break it. Over here, we'll try to kill this one. One problem, of course, is that I just don't have much control over my damage, because my weapon damage is still not terrible. The base damage of rocks still really high. But trying to keep the mini-bosses off the field is still pretty difficult. I'm glad I invested in the attack speed, though. That has been very important for this run. Alright, so we should just hit level 20, I think. Let's recycle here, and I'm going to do some re-rolling, and I'm going to re-roll until we ideally hit a level 4 upgrade, and because we just have so much money and nothing to spend it on. So let's take 3 armor here, and then I'll save my... and then I guess we will just re-roll down to 0, because we're not going to need to re-roll that much on the wave 19. It's always going to be or on the level 20 upgrade. It's always going to be a tier 3 upgrade. So we just need to make sure it's a relevant one. But 3 armor was a good find there as well. Our luck isn't super high, so the chances of getting a level 4 upgrade aren't that incredible. Alright, so there's a few too many enemies here. Wow, I took a lot more damage than I thought I would there. I maybe have... I probably shouldn't have killed any curse aliens on wave 16, actually. That's been a consistent mistake, I think, that I've made in these runs. Because you're just not going to be strong enough to kill the cursed enemies, and the extra damage is really dangerous on the late points of these runs. So that was definitely an error, I think, killing a bunch of curse aliens and boosting my curse. So now we have a lot of cursed enemies showing up on wave 19. That made this run a lot harder. Okay, so do I want 4 regen? I basically have my choice of a level 3 upgrade here. I could roll for 3 armor, I could roll for 4 regeneration, I could roll for maximum HP. I could take melee damage or percent damage or something. Or movement speed would also be good. I think 4 regen is just going to be the stat that we want. Maybe armor, though. armor is still just incredibly strong. Yeah, let's just take 3 armor here, and then I guess we'll roll and just see if I can luck into a powerful cursed weapon. We didn't, but let's go to wave 20. And we're definitely not running towards the bosses here. So in the later stages of this wave, it's going to be so important to stop the Stargazers from spawning, so that's going to be my primary and maybe only focus, is just stopping those from spawning. Obviously, dodging the enemy attacks at least a little bit is going to be important as well. So we're at 30 seconds in now. Just have to survive another minute. I have that tree there. That's kind of a small heal I can get. Okay, we got 1 Stargazer tower. It tried to sneak a Stargazer spawn in when I wasn't looking. Here's another Stargazer. Let's kill that. Kill this tower as well. That buffed the Stargazer, but I don't care about that. I just need the mini-bosses not to spawn. Here's another one. We'll kill that. That broke the tower. There's another one in the center here, and another one up here. So I'm going to try to kill the tower. I don't think I'm going to be able to get... Yeah, I wasn't going to be able to kill the Stargazer, so I just went over to break its tower. Whoa, the damage we're taking is really high. My regeneration is not quite keeping up. Oh, okay, so that was close. I think we could definitely get it with one more try. Rocks with Lich definitely feels correct. I think, let's see, what did I need to change? Obviously, maybe finding a cursed rock would be a winning strategy very easily. Picking up just a little more regeneration, so I had a plus 9 HP over a plus regen level up, and that was probably a mistake. I needed just more healing. I think the 3 armor over 4 regen at the end there was right, but I think what we needed to do was do less, fewer curse aliens on wave 16, because I just got too much curse, and obviously with all of this curse, we never got a cursed weapon, so it's possible you should even just avoid on the Lich specifically, because your plan is to take hits, avoid getting curse at all. I unfortunately am out of time to record today, but I will give this another try at some point, and we should be able to get the win relatively easily, I think. I think this is just a run that I kind of threw with slightly poor movement at the end there and a couple bad decisions in terms of my shopping. You can see how tight these runs are, where it was looking good the entire way through. I got a little careless and a little overconfident, and because you make so few decisions over the course of these runs, if you make any errors, it's really bad for you. So tough challenge over, or I think not actually as tough as some of the challenge runs I've actually won so far, the no item challenge runs. I think the Lich is a little easier, and I think if you're interested in no item challenges, this is actually a pretty good one. But I did make some errors here that caused me to lose it, so I'll be looking forward to coming back to this one. As always, my friends, if you've enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.